Greetings, my name is Chris Williams, and I hope to, in this short video, show you how to essentially get assessment data out of the LiveText system. To start, the first step, of course, is go to livetext.com and log in. Depending on your department or program, you may have a special login for your program, or it might just be the normal login you use for all of your things. If you have any questions, please contact me and we'll figure out which one works best. Once you sign in, the way to know if you have an account that can pull data out of the system is, besides the normal tabs here at the top that everyone has, you'll have a special one over here called Tools. It's under the Tools tab that you're able to generate the reports. So you click on Tools. This is your main page where you'll be able to save ways that you've pulled out assessment data before, or create a new assessment report. So even though I already created an assessment report for last year with my data, I'm going to go ahead and create another one right now by clicking on New. So the first thing you see says Assessment Report. That's actually not the one we want to go to. We want to go down to the one labeled Assessment Report under C1 only. So it's very important to make sure you click down here. As you fill out this form, you basically start from top to bottom, filling out as much information as you want. We'll give it a nice title, 1718 Assessment Data. You can fill in the description if you want, completely optional to leave it blank. Down here, what will be preloaded is only the terms for which you've already collected data. As you can see, the math department on the Crete campus only has data collected for those terms. I don't know why when one is in there, there's an error of some kind. But what we want to do is we just want to collect data that we collected last year. So that's going to be 17 fall. And then if I hit Command or Control when I click on 18 spring, it'll select both terms. For the colleges, we'll just go ahead and select all because they're all in Doane University. And then the departments, we can go ahead and select all because we'll only be able to see the math department data with this login. And finally, only the Crete location will occur. For course sections, you can either pull data from all of your course sections all at once, which is what we're going to do, or you can individually select only certain sections if you only want to do a little more fine-tuned analysis. But at this point, we'll just keep selecting all. There's only one rubric the math department uses for all of their courses so far, so we'll just select that assessment rubric, and we'll collect data from everyone that's contributed data at this point. The last option you want to select by default has Inter-Rater Summary selected to yes. This will just give you comparisons between how different instructors have rated if you want. For now, we'll just turn that information off. And finally, click here at the bottom to review the report. So what we can do is we can go back here and fine tune some filters later. But first, I just want to look at the report that is generated by LiveText. So if we scroll down, what we see here is basically the rubric filled in with the number of people set at different levels as rated by their instructors. So one of the rubric items for the math department is persistence. And we see that throughout last year, 5 students were recorded as exceeding, 31 as achieving this outcome, 29 progressing, 12 beginning, 1 did not meet the minimum requirement. By default, LiveText will also generate the mean, mode, and the standard deviation for looking at things. While this report is useful and will be useful to compare between years, the more important way to look at this data is down here in our bar chart. Here we can quickly take a look graphically to see where we seem to have higher student achievement and where we seem to have lower student achievement. So it's nice and color-coded. Blues and greens, good. Red could be good depending on what year in the program they are, whereas hopefully this orange is just because of a freshman or early population. So another thing we can do with this data if we want to compare it year to year is down here in the corner, there's the export to CSV file. Clicking on this will just generate a file that we can then open with Excel. The Excel file contains all of the information that was in the previous sheet minus the graph. What this allows you to do is use any of the graphical capabilities you know how to do in Excel, or to compare data from year to year if you see that that's what you need to do. We'll mostly go back to looking at LiveText though to how to look at our data for now. So back in LiveText, this is the compilation of all the data we've collected between the various years of our students here at Doane. And so it's not very useful because this is a mix of first year, sophomore, junior, and senior students. What we can do is there's fix this in two different ways. The first way to do it is to go into student profile filters, in which case we could just select that we only want to know the senior data. So you can choose any class year you want. Here we're only going to select seniors, and we will refresh our data. And now what we've pulled out is only the measurements from our seniors. Another option we have to pull data is, rather than just pull from students and their course years, what we can also do is we can select different assignments from certain courses. So what I can do is, if I only want to know how students are doing in a number theory course, I can just select the number theory subject, the number theory assignment, and then scroll down and hit refresh again. And this will only pull our data from number theory. We had low enrollment in number theory this year. So I'm going to go back and hit view report again just to refresh our data from the beginning. Finally, if we want to save any of our work, we just simply hit the Save As button, and this will nicely save a document that we've seen before and add it to the list from the beginning. So this means next time we click on Tools, rather than having to recreate the assignment from scratch again, the report, I can just go down here, click 17-18 assessment data, and it'll pop up right there already filled out, and I just have to go and edit this. So the last thing I can do is I can also just generate a report of assessment data that is for a particular class. So here I'm just going to skip the title because I'm going to pull the data anyways. I go and I select the term that I'm interested in looking at. In this case, let's look at 18 spring. Let's look at all the math classes. So let's only focus on instead one particular class. Let's look at Calc 2 to see how they did. So now I select just the particular courses. I select the assignment, all assessors, because they were both taught by the same person. I don't need the narrator summary, and I can view the report. And in this way, I can see how students were doing just in that one particular class on the particular items of interest in that class as well. We can see here that there's some omissions. That's because we've decided those are not the main learning objectives for that course, and it makes sense that there would be no data entered for them. I hope you found this video useful. If you have any questions, please let me know.